The Affidavit of Support and Domicile. That's what we're talking about on today's episode of Sumner School Family Immigration Basics. My name is Emily Sumner with Sumner Immigration Law. We have talked about the Affidavit of Support within the context of a family-based immigration case before. Specifically, we've talked about it in episodes 5, what is an affidavit of support, and episode 20, what are alternatives to documenting sufficient income or assets for the affidavit of support. In this video, we're talking specifically about one of the very specific requirements of the affidavit of support, which is domicile. This is particularly a problem or potential problem when the sponsoring person, the US citizen or permanent resident who was sponsoring a family member for permanent residence, is living overseas. So one of the requirements for the affidavit of support is that the petitioner or the sponsor, those words are interchangeable here, that the petitioner be domiciled in the United States. It is very common for the petitioner to be living overseas with their loved one, perhaps with their spouse, with their child, with their parent, any number of different situations. It's not at all uncommon for that person to be living overseas. And that can be a problem when it comes to the requirement of domicile. So generally speaking, domicile in the context of the affidavit of support within family-based immigration cases means that it is a requirement when you file the affidavit of support that the petitioner or the sponsor be domiciled in the United States, which basically means, and this is oversimplifying it, but basically means that you live in the United States. It is not a black and white analysis, right? We have plenty of petitioners, plenty of our clients who are back and forth all the time between the US and another country, and it's not a black and white analysis necessarily. But generally what the immigration agencies are looking at, perhaps the Department of State is looking at, is this person living permanently in the United States? So they look at things like, where's your principal residence? Where are you working? If you're working, where are your sources of income? Things like that. And like I said, it's not necessarily a black and white analysis. However, if this is a potential issue for your case, if it's not absolutely clear that the petitioner is domiciled or living in the United States, there is a solution to this, right? It does not mean that your case cannot continue. Instead, you have to show that you either are domiciled in the United States or that you do intend to be domiciled, to return to the United States, either before the person that you're sponsoring or at the same time as the person that you're sponsoring. In our practice, we tend to send this documentation early on in the process during the National Visa Center process, and then again at the interview stage of the immigrant visa process. So what can you show to show that you either are domiciled in the United States or that you will be as of the time that your family member comes to the United States? You can submit documents such as proof that you have US active bank accounts. It's not enough just to have a bank account, but active bank accounts or perhaps credit cards in the United States. You can show that you own property in the United States, that you have an address where you receive mail in the United States, that you have paid US taxes, that you have a voting record. You don't have to show who you voted for, but you can show that you have voted consistently in the United States, perhaps that you have employment in the United States. The key thing here to remember is there is no magic, no one magic piece of documentation that's going to prove that you have domicile. Instead, the individuals, the people at the agencies are going to look at the overall picture. They're going to look at what is your explanation as to where you live, and what are your ties to the United States as a whole. So again, there's no one piece of documentation that's going to prove that, or any one combination of documents. It really depends on your specific situation, but it absolutely is something that can be solved. And it's something that we walk our clients through on a regular basis. So what I'd like for you to take away from this video is, if you are a petitioner or you have a petitioner who is not living in the United States full-time, or if it's not clear if the person is back and forth in and out of the United States, which is very common, then domicile may be something that you need to address. It is absolutely overcomeable. And importantly, this issue is separate from the issue of, do you have enough income to meet the affidavit of support requirements, or do you have enough assets to meet those requirements? You can meet those requirements, a petitioner can meet those requirements, but you still have to address the domicile issue as well if you're not clearly living in the United States. In addition, it is not sufficient to have a joint sponsor. You can have a joint sponsor if you, and we talked about this in previous videos, what a joint sponsor is. You can have a joint sponsor if you need it for income or asset requirements to meet that financial requirement, but it's not going to solve the domicile issue. You can have a joint sponsor and also have to address the domicile issue. So it's definitely something that can be addressed, but it is a key factor in making sure that the overall process goes smoothly. And like I said, it's something that we help our clients with all the time. I hope that you have found this information helpful. So please like this video, comment. I'd be happy to answer questions if I can. Share this video with a family member or friend, and make sure that you're subscribed to our channel with alerts on so you don't miss our next video. Until next time, my name is Emily Sumner with Sumner Immigration Law. We assist clients from around the world and around the United States. We have clients all over the country, and we would be happy to help you next. There will be information on the outro slide, the next slide, with information about how to contact us so that we might be able to help you with your next step towards reaching your U.S. immigration goals. Until next time, my name is Emily Sumner.